Yeah, so they divorced when I was 14. My sister was 12, so that means I was getting right out of eighth grade. It was the summer of eighth grade, and I was going into my freshman year of high school, which is a big deal in the first place, but also not starting, with a complete family is also, that's a whole nother beast itself. So, but yeah.
At what point, I know with my mom and dad, when my mom and dad separated, I was 7, 8 years old.
Mhm.
It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, this was not, everybody's situation is different. Every divorce is different. Um, some can be good and some can be bad. And, we lost a lot. Um, and that's okay. That's something that we've had to learn is okay. And, that doesn't define any of us, but we lost a lot. But we had each other together, me, my dad, and my sister. We were all together, and that's, more than we could ever be, thankful
We
for.
have something else in common.
Oh boy.
So you stayed with your dad, correct?
Yeah, so my mom has no relationship with me. She didn't raise me, nothing. My dad raised me, and my sister.
I stayed with my dad.
Yeah. I mean, I give him props. I think we tried to kill him every second we had. And
Hey,
he'll probably be like, oh my God, why did she say that? But raising two girls is absolutely ridiculous. I could not even imagine. And much less he had not, he didn't really know a lot about girls or what to do or whatnot. I mean, he had four or three other brothers, like together, four of them, and he had no idea.
right.
So,
Well, I don't have any memories of my mother or being my mother, even though there's something about the divorce. I don't know. I can't. I've never. And my dad talked about it, and my sister, who passed away last year, she stayed with mom. Well, she would stay with mom, and then she get in trouble with mom, and she come to
right.
dad. And every time she come back to live with dad, I had to give up my bedroom and go back to the smaller bed. We lived in a trailer back then,
Right.
and
We're a lot alike in a lot of
yeah.
ways. So,
So I was the type. I'm totally the opposite of what my wife went through. My
right.
wife's dad used to have to sell when they were kids. They had to sell, or he sold coon hides and fox hides and stuff
Hmm.
to buy Christmas for the girls
Yep.
and or for the kids. And there's my wife. She has two sisters and a brother, and they learned how to sew. I
Right.
mean, they had a rough upbringing
Yeah.
coming up, and then her dad ended up being an insurance agent, and they did really well.
Right.
And with me, my grandfather owned a coal mine. My mom's family had money,
Right.
so we went from that to nothing.
Yeah.
So it was we just
I
flip
mean,
flopped.
it's wild. I mean, not saying we were never the family that had a ton of money. Like we were just never that. We were just a normal, like average family. My mom had a job. She was a nurse. My dad was a police officer. It wasn't like you had, some multimillionaire like family. Like we were just normal. Like it
Right.
was, it wasn't anything crazy. My mom really didn't play a huge role in my life at all, which I mean, don't get me wrong. Some days I'm like, you know what? I'm not missing anything. But to be honest, like I never had that mom and daughter relationship. I never had anybody to go get my hair done, my nails done, like do mom stuff with and or girl stuff with. But like it just I do miss having that relationship with her. I really do. Because, and even raising Chad, like you need your dad. Like you do as a man, you need your dad. And as a woman, you need your mom when you're growing up,
Yep.
to teach you just, everything it is about being a male or female and just being, everything. But it really took a toll. And my sister does have a better relationship. I won't even say that she doesn't, but she does have a better relationship with my mom than I do. She communicates with my mom more than I do. My mom doesn't reach out to me at all. We never, if it was when we were younger, she would always take my sister to go somewhere and always left me. Never took me. Never really wanted to have anything to do with me, really. And that's you. A lot of people would be like, "Wow, that's sad," but that made me so much stronger, and that made me and my dad like this. So, I mean, some people might be like, "Wow, that really sucks for you," but like That's all I've ever known, and, like, I took that and I ran with it. Like, I could have been like, "Wow, I'm so depressed, like, this sucks for me," like, whatever, but I turned that around and went.
It could be a demotivator or a
Right.
motivator.
Yeah, I mean,
And
like, what was I gonna do? Just sit there and be like, pity myself? Like, no, there's no time for that.
right.
So I picked it up and went.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And my dad, where he worked in the coal mine, he would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and he'd get home about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening. Well, when I was a teenager, I would be in the bed when he went to work. And when he come home, I would be outside. So by the time I got home or got back inside, he had already gone to bed. So sometimes I'd go a whole week and hardly ever see dad.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of time, especially during Christmas time, but um there was points where I didn't see my dad for a while. And a lot of people would be like, "Wow, that's, your parents. That's not good parenting or whatever." But like, are you kidding me? Like he had to go he was working 4 or 5 jobs. Are you kidding? Like
You're right.
no. Like he was putting food on the table for us. Like what else was he supposed to be doing?
Exactly.
So my sister and I, we kind of raised ourselves, to be honest. I mean, and I raised her. And she'll probably be like, "Olivia, you're being such a mom right now." Like, we didn't have a mom. Like, what am I supposed to do? So I picked up and I took that role. I took that role at 14 years old, and I raised myself. I took care of my father, and I took care of my sister. I mean, and he's gonna kill me for saying this because that's all we had. But like, all he knew how to make was frozen pizzas and pasta.
And
Like,
it didn't kill you?
it didn't kill me. No, but God, we were so sick and tired of frozen pizza and pasta. And God forbid, that's all he knew how to make. So that threw me into the route of planning dinner, learning how. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to do anything like that. My mom had never taught me anything like that. Learned how to cook, taught my sister how to cook. And now I have a degree as a chef. So it's wild. I had to do a lot of things that a lot of people our age were not doing. And that made me. And some people will say, "Man, you're really like just, that you're off-putting or like aggressive or whatever." But like, how is that being aggressive? That's being an adult at a young age. So, I mean, I ran with it. I didn't have anything else to do.